birds. Uh, they they went away, but oh, it's the red robin right there. Where he at? Right there. Wait, he's sitting there, all cute and shit. Okay, he flew away just now. Anyway, y'all. Okay, so I said I was gonna do this. I wanted to show y'all. So these are the things that are still in bottles that I came out yesterday to put out. Now I want you to know it did rain yesterday, and it looks like it rained last night too. Okay, because it's pretty wet out here. So what happens is the things I start indoors, and then I eventually bring them out here, and then from here I then put them out. Okay. Even since yesterday, some things has changed because I came out here yesterday, uh, early in the morning, earlier than this morning, because it's almost 10. Yesterday I was out here like at 7, and I noticed some issues going on. Okay. So that's a tomato plant. I noticed the peats, this bug. That I'm gonna see if we can find it, because I'm not sure if I'm out here too late. But some of the things, like I just put this out last week. I just put this out yesterday. Uh, from here to there, okay. And I came out to check. Now see the yellowing of the leaves right there. That shouldn't be, okay. That's a bean plant, okay. That's a bean plant. And this, see how it's flowering already? That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. It should be much bigger. See, this is a bean plant too. See, right there. Okay. So the plants are in distress, and I didn't know why. Like I planted this out here like over a month ago. It should be much larger. Okay. My peas were here, but they were growing pretty at one time, and then I came out yesterday and it was gone, and I threw it somewhere. Here it is. That's one of them. It was large. It had peas on it and everything. But the bug, let's see if we can find the bug. Now I put some things out. That's it. That's gonna be something. I did this yesterday. That's gonna be something. Now, here, okay, this is a potato. Potatoes is growing in this bag. And if we take a look, see that white stuff? Yeah, see that? That's when it was more than it is now. You could visibly see it early morning. But see the stalks? That's not good. That's not good. Okay? You can see it. Look at it. It's being overrun. Now I'm gonna have to, I don't know if I can save this. I think I can. Hopefully. Okay, let's come back here. I pulled up a lot of things. I had some things going here, here. The only one I didn't take up is that one, because I think I just put that up. I just put that out a couple of days ago. I just put this here yesterday. And that one, right? And so it's this one and this one right here. Now see, that's growing. That's cucumber slash beans, and they are flowering. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to save it. You see that? This flowering already. And look, look, y'all see that? These are beans. If I open that pot up, it's gonna be beans in it. Okay. Now the only thing that hasn't been affected, that they didn't touch, is this. And that's okra. That's an okra plant. That's an okra plant. That's an okra plant. Uh, and then I started some small ones yesterday. I hope I'm not stepping on them. Oh God. That's one. That's one. And there's some others, but it rained, so hopefully they pop up. But I did put some more yesterday here. Okay. I had some things running right there. Cucumbers. I'm not happy, y'all. I had a lot more things out here. I had to pull them up. It was so decimated, and it's too late. Yesterday morning, should I say, yeah, early yesterday morning, I was able to see this white thing flying around. Just flying around, going from plant to plant, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, see, like even now I can't see the bug. You can't even see the white things the way I saw them yesterday. But I used to see that bush right there that you see right here. I had two others in this area right here. You can see the stump right there. See that stump? And we had another one. So you wasn't able to see our air conditioning unit because it was covered by the bushes. And the bushes died. And I'm gonna show y'all, this one is dying too. Them things they decimate. Look, you see the brown? They come, they lay their little eggs. The eggs burrow into the branches, and then it just sucks the sap right out of them. And it kills. We had 4 of these, and it's the only one still standing. And the truth is, this one needs to come down, okay? Because it's dying. It's dying. If you look, you can see all kinds of, you see that? There's this shit back here now. See, the HOH people, my land goes back. And it used to be back there where I can walk back there and plant back there. But these motherfuckers stopped cutting the grass the way they're supposed to. They only cut along this. I have a tree right there. I have strawberries that's growing up in there that I can't reach. Look at this. You see that white stuff? It's all over. Okay. There's a rose. I have a rose bush. If you look, you can see the thongs. The thongs. How you say it? Thongs? Not thongs. I'm not pronouncing it right, but y'all know what I mean. I hope you do. If you don't, then who gives a shit? Look at that. Look at that bug. Where is that? Those things will decimate shit too. But my plants can deal with that. It don't kill, it'll come and eat some shit up. But the thing, it's this little butterfly. It looked like a pretty little butterfly, but it's white. See my strawberries? I didn't know about strawberries when the first year I grew them. And I didn't know they come up year after year. So after we got a lot of them, I pulled them up and I just threw them all over the yard. Like I kind of just threw the root. I did not know. I have shit growing all through there, y'all. I can't even access it. Okay? I can't access anything. And that's because of HOH. But you see all that dryness? See all how, first of all, this is my tree right here that I grew. It's on my property. Then you see all that brown shit? Why would that be brown like that? Because something is eating it. Something is eating all this, is eating it. So somebody mentioned, because there is a video that told me I could grow some things in the garden that would attract them, and then they'll stay away from my garden. But that's not true. That's a falsehood, because the thing that goes from plant to plant and lays eggs, it's flying. It's flying. What will make it just want to go to just that one area? That's ridiculous. You know? That's ridiculous. Y'all got to know that don't make no sense. That inside your garden, you're going to grow some shit. It's going to attract all the shit that you want to stay away from your garden. You're going to attract it to your garden? Like, does that make fucking sense? So I don't want to be killed, but so I'm going to attract the killers to a particular area in my house. I'm going to say, hey, killers, come over here. I have something for you to do over here. You can do some killing in this spot of my house. Just make sure you don't come to the other spot of the house and do the killing. Y'all know that don't make no goddamn sense. Just because people make videos about it don't make it real, y'all. And that shit don't, it logically just don't make no fucking sense. Okay? It logically don't make no sense. Now see this thing right here? I keep taking these things and putting them up. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I don't think it's something I grew. But I think it's something I grew, but it was like a few years back, and whatever it is, it keep growing. And I keep pulling them up, and they grow fast. I pull it up by the root. If you don't pull it up by the root, it don't make no sense, right? Because if you leave the root, it'll just regrow. But this is something I grew a few years back. I grew so many things. And then what I do, when I would pull it, I would just throw it to the back like that. And I would hope that it's going to die. But some of the things that regrows, it ends up like my strawberries. I have a strawberry patch. You can't see it because they didn't cut far enough. But I have a strawberry patch back up in here. Okay. You can see where yesterday they came through and they rolled. And then so my area is, in order for them to cut their grass, they come through my area, right? But they're not supposed to come through my actual yard. But they made it to where they come through my actual yard because the motherfuckers won't cut my yard, okay? So my property goes way back there. Now, y'all, normally, I see some pepper growing back there. And I see berries. Them things is decimating everything. Okay? But anyway, I was hoping I'd come out here early enough so y'all could see it. Yesterday, I saw the thing flying around, looking all pretty. That bitch was looking pretty, baby. Okay? Looking all cute and shit. Dropping his goddamn eggs on my plants. Then the birds will come and eat your seeds when you plant your seeds. Somebody mentioned yesterday that you have to put net over things. That's to stop the birds, but it's not as simple as just putting nets. Okay? So look at that. That came to flower too soon. Is it too soon? It's not too soon for it to flower, but it's not at the age, it's not at the maturity it should be. It should be really just growing really nicely. But it's suffering. You see that? The plant is actually suffering. And I'm going to be honest, I should just tear her up. She looks bad. Look, there you go. Look, wait, let me show you. Let me do a close-up. Let me see. At first, I got to see where it's at. Look at her. Look at that motherfucker. You see it? It's white. You see it moving? That's the thing. Yesterday, they was out here. It was like 50 dozen of them. just flying around. You see her? Just, just eating my shit. Oh, Lordy. These things are a motherfucking danger. They pissing me off, right? They probably on the other side, underside of it. Mosquito on my finger trying to bite me. I have on a jacket and everything because I didn't want to put on mosquito spray because I have a doctor's appointment. I want, but I guess I want to jump in the shower. Uh, you see it? They fly around and it look like little gnats when they fly. And when they get bigger, they look like little white butterflies. Now let me tell you why I'm pissed. A garden provides for me and my family, right? Your garden for food. Oh, can y'all hear me now? I had accidentally pressed the mute button. Hey, Genesis. Hey, Lena. Thank you for putting that D nice. How you doing? I've been over here talking my ass off, too. Anyway, I was talking about raining. I was talking about how I start things in the house and then I put them outdoors. And they do them well indoors. So I put them outdoors because now I want them to grow. And then really it was because I was doing an update on the garden like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I went outside and showed y'all one of them. And that's when I noticed I noticed the plant wasn't looking as pretty. Like that basil plant was green, and she would, like, I used to sing to her, you know, when I'll be rapping to her and say like, hey, yeah, shake it, yeah, hey, Friday night, hey, got me. You know, the plants know all the songs, baby. Okay, I treat them like babies. They my babies. They doing good. I call them, all of them are women. I don't think I've ever said he. Every time I mention one, I say she, right? Because I feel she's delicate and she gonna produce us some food. She gonna produce us these babies that we gonna love to eat and fill our bellies. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, I was saying that yeah, we twerking. Me and plants twerking. She was looking good, and I decided to start putting her outdoors. Now I don't know why, because the truth is, the basil, I had said I was gonna keep her indoors. You know, basil don't grow too wild, and it's usually, you don't even use that much basil. One basil plant, and it'll last you forever. Basil keeps growing over and over and over and over again. You take some snips off when you need her, and you just let her grow. And you don't need her to grow too wild unless you use a lot of basil. And I don't use a lot of basil, so I wanted some fresh thyme, basil, you know, those type of herbs. You could grow herbs indoors. You know, never. But so I don't know why I brought her outside, but she was just looking so pretty. Maybe I was on some bragging shit, you know. She was looking all pretty, and when it warmed up, I wanted her to go outside and see the beautiful sun, and feel the wind. I wanted her to be treated well, and I put her ass right there in front of my door, not even in the full sun. And she was out there for maybe 2-3 days, and I went out there to check on her. And when I looked at her, she waved at me. And I said, hey. And she said, hey. She said, I want to talk to you. And I said, I'll catch up with you later. And then I came upstairs and started talking to y'all asses on the internet. And she kept telling me she needed to speak to me. She wanted to make an appointment. I told her to make an appointment. And she was like, I need to make an appointment. She said, I need to talk to you. I said, make an appointment. I got to go. She said, okay, don't forget me. I said, okay. She started emailing me and shit. But I told her she got to call me before she emailed me. She got to call me, leave me a message to let me know that she left me an email. But she didn't do that. But she emailed me, though, and I ignored her. So like a week later, I went outside just to grab her to show her off to y'all. And I saw that she was looking a little not herself. So I did some investigative work. And she had left me a note in the dirt that said, bitch, I tried to tell you. The note read, bitch, I tried to tell you something. We being attacked. I'm being attacked. I didn't have nothing to say to her. So I went to the internet. They told me to put some concoction together. They told me I could go and buy some shit. And I was thinking, but then they were like, it's going to be chemical. And, you know, once I go put chemicals out there, y'all, I can never classify that area as organic anymore. Okay, these chemicals, the chemicals, it doesn't, I don't know. I don't know all the particulars, but once you start using chemicals, even if I just use them for one season in that area, but it's not like I sell my stuff, but I'm just, you know. Anyway, the plant, I went and did what I saw on the internet. I made that concoction, And these motherfuckers don't even give you exact numbers, but they gave me, you know, they were like, put a sprinkle of this and a dab of that. And and I was like, nah, let me go find another one. Then there was somebody black who listened to this, the same one I listened to, and they decided to put their own numbers on shit. Because I know when somebody told me to use one whole tablespoon of something in that little ass water, I was like, hell nah, bitch. You don't know what you're talking about. That's too much salt, right? So anyway, I did put the concoction together. I did find a video that told me what to do. I put it on my basil. Even though basil was still living, all I had to do was kind of brush some of that shit off, figure out, you know, something, keep it indoors. I sprinkled her, wiped it down, and then I put it back outside. And the next day I went out there and I had killed the plant. Like, I should have I had to bury her. Okay, I buried her. She out there buried some motherfucker way. I was so disappointed because I was that's family. She was family. You understand? Hey, Brandy, what's going on? Cynical one, how everybody doing? That was my baby. She was doing good when nobody else was here doing good. You know, everybody else was. She grew so fast, and me and her, we used to party together. Okay, she even tried to get me to hit on a puff and pass type of shit, and I had to tell her nah. But I told her to do what she do. She said, it's all herbs, bitch. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. You can handle it. I said, I can't handle it. I told her I could go to jail. Her ass ain't going to jail. Okay? So we twerked it out. You know, she was smoking on that Mary J and shit. And these YouTubers that killed my motherfucking best friend, baby. Stop listening to YouTubers. Listen, you got to find somebody who you see actually doing what they said they did. Because they do have some amount that they have some valid and really good gardeners out here where they showing you them actually doing it. And then they put it out there and they give you updates on it. But everybody else though, the people who you see and they got these large ass channels and they got all that money to be buying this tree, that tree, just to cut it down and do it. Let me tell you something. Somebody gave them that shit. They got workers actually doing the gardening. And it may not even be them. They may have an actual company taking care of their garden. And then they go out there and film this shit. And you know what I'm saying? And claiming, because even now, I sent hubby to go buy me a couple of plants. After my bell peppers, I said, well, I do want some bell peppers. Look, the things that I like, for sure, I want. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just buy a plant, right? I told y'all that. I would never lie and say, hey, y'all, this is what I grew from seed if I actually got it from a seedling, if I actually bought the plant, right? Because I'm not going to lie to y'all. Y'all know I'm cheaper than a motherfucker. If I could grow it from seed, that's what I'm going to do, okay? And but if I got to grow it from a plant, I'll tell y'all what went wrong, okay? So here in Delaware, the weather, like I'm seeing people who in Jersey and they gardening. There's other people in Delaware and they showed me their garden talking about, look at my garden doing well. I'm on the same program showing them that I'm doing it from seed. And I got these little tiny plants. They showing me a whole bush. And I'm like, ma'am, she bragging to me. Because I'm saying, hey, it's summer just hit. Even after summer, we dip down into the 40s, right? At night. They out going to show me some shit. And I'm like, where you at? And she said, Delaware. I'm like, and you grew that from seed? Yeah. I said, so when you put that out? She said she put it out months ago. Because it had, you know, it was big like that. It was at least 2 months worth of growth. And I'm like, so I go off. Like, I don't go off, but I give the, you know, I'm like, well, there is absolutely no way that you grew that and put that outside 2 months ago. When we dipped down into the fucking 30s, just like 3 weeks ago. That plant would have died. It would have been done. It was so cold. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna lie to people who live in the same area? Now, if she would have said she had a greenhouse, now she talking differently. But no, she bragging that her garden is bigger than mine, and she's bragging, and we in the same zone. And so other gardeners come and say, yeah, how did you get your cucumber to grow in the dead of winter? Or in yeah, there's some plants who ain't gonna play. Like cucurbits, right? That's what they call them. The things that, first of all, you ain't got no bees and shit out there when it's hitting in the 30s at night. I barely saw a lot of bees out there. Even, you know what I mean? The things that you need in order to help pollinate these things, you ain't got no butterflies out there because it's just still too cold. So what you do, sweetheart? Now, and then she deleted her account. They do have people who garden in my area, and they do have nice garden. They have greenhouses. You know what I mean? So it's different. Or they purchasing the plants, and they already have, they were grown in a greenhouse. They're going to a nursery. I don't know why people lie. It don't even make no sense. Like, I'm showing them me doing it from seed, and she showing me, oh, look at my plant, and I have a harvest. You have a harvest of what? Now, there's a lot of things that I could grow here. The things that I want to grow, though, I'm not sure if y'all noticed what I said I'm growing, right? Okra, that is a summer plant, right? Cucumbers, that is a summer plant, right? Yes. It won't even start the bud. It wouldn't even start in my, remember how I showed y'all the napkin, y'all? It wouldn't even germinate in that napkin without it being in a warm area. I had to put that item on a heating pad for it to even germinate. See, I bought the heating pad, and I wanted to send that shit back, but I didn't. I bought them lights and a heating pad because I couldn't get the bell peppers to germinate in the napkin. It would not germinate. No matter how much, it didn't matter if they were fresh, bought seeds, they would not germinate in that napkin. So I did some research, and it told me, yes, they need heat. They need warmth. So it wouldn't even, the seed itself wouldn't do shit without some heat. Okay? And so I've been trying watermelon and I can't. Yeah. So cola, yes. Watermelon. Right now you could get it. Like, I would send you a plant, but it probably wouldn't, because I have a lot of them over there. A lot of watermelon plants. So we could grow watermelon, but this is the thing. You got to know what type you have, where you at. You lower down, but you still up. But you should be able, yeah, you could definitely grow watermelon in your area. Now, the thing is, yeah, it's only going to take 30 days to a month. Right now is a great time. If y'all in these areas, this is a great time, no matter where you are in this country, to grow, and you can grow watermelon. I heard people say, can't grow watermelon. I can't grow watermelon. So I believed it too. I used to say, well, I can't grow. Y'all heard me say, well, I'm trying to grow watermelon because I want to know, why can't we grow watermelon? What prevents us from growing watermelon when all you need is the sun and there's some nutrition, which is usually the soil, or you could buy something. So there's nothing that we cannot grow. The issue could be, though, the time frames. There are some watermelon that needs almost 70 days. So y'all know that's more than 2 months. So if you don't have that enough heat in that time frame, then you start growing smaller watermelons, seedless watermelons. Only take about 45 days. That's just a little over a month. And that's from seed, by the way. Okay? No, you don't need, no, it's not about drier ground. That y'all saw with my mounds. Y'all saw where the areas where I had it mounded up. So what I did, I put dirt. I grabbed dirt in this area like this, right? Let's go look at it again. The mosquitoes tearing my ass up. But anyway, what I did was I took the soil. It's almost like growing it in a container. Really, I don't know why people started buying containers, but I see why. I understand why you would spend $100 on this little ass thing that you got to then buy dirt to put in, and then you know what I mean. Like I really don't see why people do that. But now I do understand if you don't have a yard, and so you're growing on a balcony, it makes sense. But if you have a yard and people buying them containers, that makes 0 sense. Okay. So the thing about when you watermelon, it does have to be on a hill. It has to be on a hill, and the reason it needs to be like on a hill, where when the water, like when it rains, you don't want your watermelon sitting in water. So, because if it sit on the ground and it rains a lot, it's gonna get rotten, right? Y'all know that green, that little light spot at the bottom of them all watermelons? Well, that's natural because that's where it's sitting. You could tell how it was sitting, right? But that's the thing you're really worrying about, the fruit. Okay? Now, but you need to also keep the plant off the ground. No, the plant could grow all over the ground. Watermelon kind of does what cucumbers does. That motherfucker be all over your yard, right? Go and get your watermelon plant. Go. They're not even that expensive. Y'all go get one by this weekend. And I'm going to take one of my watermelon plants out there. But I need to know what kind of circumstance y'all. Because if y'all could grow a watermelon in a container. If you grow a watermelon in a container, cool. I'll do a watermelon in a container also. Y'all just need to tell me how y'all want to do it. Let's do a container because most people don't have a yard. Let's grow watermelon in a container. We all going to go and get us one plant. It shouldn't cost you no more than $3-4, y'all. Okay? To go and get, they probably give you like a full pack. A full pack might cost you $5-6. And that's 4 individual plants. Okay? It's too late. I wouldn't suggest any seeds. But if we all go and get us, I already have my seedlings, so I'm not going to buy shit. Okay? But I will go buy a container or a bucket, or what I would recommend, I made some. It's too late for me to send them to y'all, though. I did make my own grow containers. I sold up a few. I know I didn't show them to y'all yet because, like, the weather hasn't been good. And the one that I made is for my herbs and spices. And I just haven't been going out there. The mosquitoes is bad. Look, even in the daylight, you know, down south, mosquitoes never bothered me until like when it got late, when it started getting dark and shit, that's when they come out and they bite you. Up here, the mosquitoes tear my ass up in the daylight. It's crazy. Or try growing a cantaloupe. Yes, I have cantaloupe over there, watermelon, and so the things I'm growing are for summer. Cucumbers, bell peppers, watermelon, cantaloupe. This is my first year growing cantaloupe, and what else? I think it's one other thing that specifically needs sunlight, and when not just sunlight but warmth, because you know it's sunny year round. The truth is, y'all, we could grow plants by sunlight all year round. The issue comes with the temperature, and that's why if you get a greenhouse, which is a house, right, that is controlled temperature basically, and you have it where the sunlight can still get in there, right? That's what a greenhouse essentially is. So the truth is, you could probably build a greenhouse for cheaper than buying one. On some real shit. I ain't gonna lie, we could go to the Lowe's and get, like, wood is cheap as hell. It's gonna be such a small structure that we as ladies can make it ourselves. That is the truth. Okay? And we can build a nice size greenhouse for about $100. But if you go buy that same size greenhouse, you gonna spend way more than that. Okay? You could buy them ones. I've seen some that were like $40, but truly, all that is, yeah, that's not, you wouldn't, the wind blowing it, blow it away. So it's almost like those tents, but you could get a tent. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. Let me see. You said I have to rig something up. I only have flat ground. That's exactly what happened. It was too wet and no drainage. Yeah, but the way you make drainage is you do what I did. Let me take y'all out there. I'm gonna take y'all out there. Hold up. Let's go outside. I'm gonna take this with us so I can show you what I'm talking about. Let me go and show you exactly what I did. I think we all now. When you're growing in your area, they're gonna sell what's good in your area. Hold up, yo, I don't go outside without my mask. My neighbors like to come up. I just need to put it on my ears, so in case they pop up on me. Hold up. Y'all ever go out and people just like to come up? And like they just really truly like to walk up on me. Okay, here. Let me take the tripod with me. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. Can y'all see? Am I covering? I keep covering shit up. Hold up. Okay. Let me. Okay, so I got you on tripod. So I have a hole. This is the actual hole, y'all. It's a hole. That's what a hole look like. This thing right here is a tiller, and that just tills the ground. That is where you can loosen up the ground if you need to. Okay, so see that water, that pile of water there? The reason that piles up there, how do I stop this from spinning? That's some kind of way. Okay, there you go. There's a water there because I created that, but that's because my house, the water comes and it drains, and it's always real wet here. So, but this is space where I want to grow. So how do I grow here with this issue? Well, what I did was I took the dirt from here and I piled it up like here. That's why this part is not that soaked, right? Now this part is wet, but this part isn't, right? So that's healing. That's called healing, making your own area. Now, it's called making your own area. Can y'all hear me? So let me say this. That water being there is a good thing too, because I'm a plant here, right, on the high portion, and if it's water there, what's going to happen is my plants going to always have water. I'm not going to have to water them. I'm not going to have to water them. But the rain does that because it comes off our house and then it goes here. So all of this used to be wet like this. I actually used to have something here catching the water and reusing the rainwater. But just a couple of days ago, I healed it up. And I said, okay, let me heal this up because I want to grow here. Okay? But let's go to another area. So from this spot, you see, y'all, I'm not sure if you can see, but there's this one, that one, that one, that one. How did I create that? I'm going to show you. Let me make sure y'all don't fall. Hold up. Whew. So this was just regular flat ground. And I went in the center and I pulled it up. Right? I pulled it up like that. And I made a center so I could walk through. This is a walk through area. And then I could take this side and do the same thing. So let me do that. Let me show you. Hold up. Won't be able to see me. But I got a plant right there, so take it. You can do that with a shovel too. Sometimes it's easier with a shovel. Let me go grab the shovel. Where is that? Uh, let's go get the shovel and put the hole right here. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So that's all. That's what these hills are. And they don't have to be that large. Okay? And you could buy soil also, but do it with a little dirt ground first. Let me grab the shovel. Let me show you how to make I'm gonna make a new one, right? Because you may not understand how I did it. So let's go over here and let me make one right here. I'm gonna make one right here. See, this is this one. I'm put one right here. Okay. First thing you do is go in there, grab that shit up. Okay, wait. I need the tiller. Get that grass away first. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Okay, I hope so. Now this is hard. Okay, y'all might hear me being out of breath. That's okay. It ain't that hard. I'm just out of shape. Here we go. Okay. Move that grass out the way. I don't want the grass in the middle neither. So I'm gonna just get under it. Scoop it up. You can replant this grass if you want in other places. Okay. And then, let me go get the tiller. Hold up. I'm out here in the whole jacket, y'all. And then I just want to I want to loosen that dirt up. I'm an old woman, y'all. If I could do it, y'all could do it. Okay. Now. Now I'm going to do You got earthworms and everything in here. That's good. Okay. Take this. We're going to heal this up. Whoa. Let me show y'all something. What is that? Is that a bug? I think so. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. Let me make sure y'all can see me. Let me see if y'all can see me, okay? Okay, let's go a little bit this way. Cause I'm not done yet. See, I healed it up from this side so far. Okay. Now we gotta do this side. Roots. Okay. So y'all understand what I'm doing? Whew. I see a mosquito, y'all. So basically, I will clean this up, this trench area, because that would be my walking space between them. Okay. So I have some going over here. I have some going over there. And now you don't have flat plains. Now you don't, it's not flat anymore. Okay. So it's all about really the fruit. Okay. So the way I was going to show you how to do the watermelon was going to be a way I saw somebody do on the internet, to be honest. To protect. Okay. They do have some different types of watermelons that take less time, but cantaloupes take less time. Smaller watermelons take less time. The larger watermelon you want, the more time it takes. But let me tell you about those. You ever buy a big watermelon and it's not sweet? Well, the reason it's not sweet because they do wait for them to get big, but they do not let them go fully ripen. There's too many of them on one plant. If you want your watermelon to be really big, you literally would want one watermelon per plant. You're not going to let it make you 12 watermelons on the plant because you're going to want that energy to go to the biggest watermelon. You're going to want all the energy to be spent on that one melon instead of being spread across several melons. Mom, do you grow vegetables? Everything I'm talking about is vegetables. Yeah, cucumbers, watermelons. Watermelons, well, I guess I see what you mean. Because you're right, these are fruit, right? Cucumbers are fruit, watermelons are fruit, tomatoes are fruit. So I guess you mean like potatoes, and that's what's in that bag over there. That black bag right there, those are potatoes. I showed y'all the sweet potato slips indoors. I showed y'all my beans. I'm growing beans, but they're not doing well because of the problem that I'm having. And I showed y'all the peas. I showed y'all the peas like a couple of times. And they were doing well. But the thing about peas, they do not like hot heat. So it only took a couple. Remember we was in a heat wave like 2 weeks ago? But I made sure I put them in a shaded area. So you got to think about where you grow your stuff if you really want to grow certain things. So like, for instance, peas, right? If I could grow peas underneath a bush, like underneath here, And they'll grow year round, but they just need that shade. They need something to keep all of the full sun off of them. Um, you know, so that's what I've been doing this year. I've been calculating where I grow things. It's a problem for me though, because I'm not writing everything down. I come up with a plan, but I don't write it down. Then by the time I get out here, I forget. But I do know, like, around this bush here, because I don't want to buy a lot of trellises, right? I'm trying to spend the least money. Look, there go that white thing. That go that white bitch. Oh, man, where's she at? Let me see if I can show you. Boy, they dangerous. That thing, it looks so pretty, but that's what's killing everything in my garden. Let me see where she went. I just saw her. She flew. She looked like a butterfly. She looked like a goddamn butterfly, okay? But she not. Anyway, what was I saying? You have to you kind of have to know where you're growing things. So people don't really give you that information. They'll give you information, like they'll say some things could be growing in full sun, and they'll say not full sun. You know, and what does full sun mean? Because my house, because of these trees have been growing year after year. They get higher and higher and higher, which means my backyard has lost a lot of its sunlight. It used to be fully sun back here in the afternoon. Afternoon when the sun shifted, it used to be back here full sun all day. We got internet people using terms and they're not explaining the terms, if that makes sense what I'm saying. So what does full sunlight mean? There are things that can handle full sun. So if you out not around any homes and things like that, that's when you gotta know, right? Certain things can handle that. And then they got things that cannot handle that. And that's when you have to buy. You have to start buying things. But remember, I could use the nature areas of my home. I don't have to go and buy anything to shade up something when I got trees. I have trees. You can grow it under your trees. Now you have shade. Right? So when people, it depends on the channel. And depends on, they just concerned about people watching, and you can't get a lot of information from them, but you cannot rely on their information unless your circumstances is just like their circumstances. So I could grow peas and I could grow them under. I could grow peas in the winter. There's a lot of things you can grow in winter, and I will have a winter garden, but I'm gonna still have to worry about the same bug, or maybe even a different bug that is out in the winter months. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that and see. But I was thinking about putting some carrots and growing some carrots in there with my potatoes and seeing how that do. Okay. Yeah. I enjoy being out here. Is it a lot of work? It's a lot of thinking power. You cannot, because you do have to go based on what you have, the small space you have. Just because they say put it in containers, it still might not be successful because they didn't give you enough information, right? It's in a container, but now, like, where do you have it? Is it out in the full sun when it shouldn't be? Or is it under, like, do you have it in a shaded area? And even if it's in a shaded area, it still will grow. It just will grow slower, right? A lot of people are saying how to get the quickest harvest, how to get the most harvest. And we equate that to mean good. Look at the mosquito. It's sitting on my, God damn. I got to go indoors. Okay, let's go. I'm going, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. We got to go. When I start seeing the mosquitoes, they bite me too. Hold up. We got to go. We got to go. I'm fully dressed like I'm in the winter months. And, let me show y'all. I'm not sure if I showed that to you. Hold up. What do they want me to do? Oh, they say it's locked. How do I unlock that? Oh. Okay, there you go. I put that in. And then I have some things growing in here that I just put in. This is either a cantaloupe or watermelon. I think it's a watermelon. Okay. And I have a pepper I put in the center. And I'm going to put another something else on this side. So it's in a container. See that? Okay. Those people tried to grow some things on side. See, it's dying, but they side isn't like my side. Things can grow on my side, but things can't grow on their side. Why can't it grow on their side? Because I'll tell y'all in a minute. Let me get inside here. Whew, it feels good in here. I'm gonna end up having to take a shower anyway, because I done sweated now. Sweating in this damn jacket. I have on a winter jacket. Bomb is crazy. Bomb was trying to save herself from these damn mosquitoes. Okay? That's what Bomb was doing. Bomb was trying to keep the mosquitoes off of her. And they still biting on her foot now. Shit. I'm itching. Let me take these jackets off. I have a long sleeve shirt. And then I said, well, that's not going to be enough. They're going to still be able to bite me through the shirt. Then I put on this long, big-ass jacket. They're not biting me with the jacket and the shirt. They bite me on my foot in the exposed places, my neck, my fingers and shit. D-Nice said the bulk of what I grow is in semi-shade, a garden on a budget, so I don't buy all those things people suggest. D-Nice, correct. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I suggest. Think with your brain. You know what I mean? People, I'm not saying anything is wrong with those channels. In fact, I've learned a lot of information about plants, like the type of plants, right? When you start hearing me say the technical names, right? That's because I learned that from, like, the internet, right? I learned the difference between the different things, and I even listen to them when they say it's the best time to grow. But the best and the only are not the same words. Best and only. When they talk about the best. Now, I found something too late in the year, but I think it was around December, around December, January, when I found that people, they got something called seed sowing. Sowing your seeds. And I was like, what? Like, so instead of me doing the things I do to prepare my seeds, I can sow the seeds. I mean, even in the winter months, you can be growing things. Now, because of the weather, it's going to grow slowly, right? It's going to grow because it snows up here. It's going to grow real slow, but that's okay. It's okay because you don't want to, I don't want to have all this shit in my house. You know what I mean? So you can have it outdoors in the sunlight in containers with covers on them. They're going to keep them warm enough so they do not die. And I just learned about that. Hey, DJ Genesis, how you doing? I'm gonna find you so I could subscribe to you, sis. Okay. Hey, the front porch gardener. Full sun means 8 plus hours of direct sun. That's right. But let's think about this for a minute. When they say 8 to 10 hours direct sun, because that's what they tell us. Why do a plant need direct sun? Now, I can understand if we're talking about when you're growing in the woods, in the forest. But sunlight, if we understand how sunlight works with plants, can you grow shit in the forest? Probably not. Why? Because they're not getting any sunlight directly to their leaves like needed, because there's no sunlight coming through, right? Because there's other things taking that radiation, taking that from them, so that it never gets to them. But in your yard where there might be some homes blocking what they call direct sunlight, doesn't mean that your plants aren't getting what it needs from the sunlight. From, you know what I mean? So it's like kind of like, how should I say this? The things that need direct sunlight will still grow without direct sunlight. It's just going to grow a little slower because they found how you could get it to grow a little faster, right? You see what I'm saying? It's going to grow faster, but it's not going to die because it doesn't have 8 full hours, right? There's times when I don't even put, like, we used to forget to put the grow lights on. The thing's not dying. We know that the what they need from this, even this fake sun. This is fake sun. That's nowhere near the amount of energy from the sun. And you could grow in your house without sun at all. So why wouldn't we be able to grow it in just a shady spot? It also depends on the plant and what is needed of the plant, right? Some plants, you can grow them in actual full shade as long as the leaves will start scurrying and trying to find sunlight. Because they want to survive just like we want to survive, right? So you could grow a cucumber in a shaded area and it will grow slower, but when it starts, once it's going to start trying to find, it's going to look for the sunlight. It's going to trellis its way to find sunlight. And when it starts finding sunlight, it's going to grow quicker and it's going to grow wild. And then it's going to continue to follow the sunlight. So I guess I understand what they're saying. We just have to understand what they're saying, right? You read the pack and you still have to understand what they say it needs 8 hours, but what if it's only getting 6 hours? So the suggestion is, hey, if you have a area where you could put it where it might get more sun, it's the better. But it's not going to die and it's still going to do well in not 8 hours, but 6 hours. If it was in 4 hours of more sun, it's still going to thrive. It's just not going to produce as much as quickly. So I think a lot of the terminology and the things that are said and how people interpret it can prevent people from growing their own food. You don't have to grow everything, but like I use a lot of bell peppers. Bell peppers used to be reasonably priced. You know, I used to be able to get a bell pepper for 30-something cents. And then I remember being able to get a bell pepper for 50-something cents, right? And then I remember still being able to go get a bell pepper for 80-something cents. I was like, God damn. And now a bell pepper might be $1 or something for one bell pepper. And that sounds cheap. But that's not cheap. That's like buying, and we do, if we pay attention to how much we pay for an orange, y'all, if y'all ever 10-pound bag of orange for like $8, and people think, oh, $8, that's a good deal. Okay, now go in there and count how many oranges you have and break that down and see how much you're paying per little bitty orange. Better go get you an orange tree. Okay. Let's see. Did I say? I always say experiment to see what is best for your garden. I agree. You will be surprised at what you can grow and where. I agree with you 100%. Some sun is needed. Right, front approach, and that's what's important, right? It does need sun. And they've done a lot of people done the experiments for us, and the reason they do the experiments is for farmers. Like when they give information, it's for farmers who are growing massive amounts of food, so they can know where to put it to yield the best harvest, because they are growing lots. But we are home growers, and like D Nice said, and everybody else. grow according to what your space is. Your space. And don't, like, I think a lot of people will like it if they try it. And don't grow anything that you don't like, because you'll find it wasteful. You'll find that you're not interested. But if you like cucumbers, grow a cucumber. If you like potatoes, grow a potato. Potatoes are easy as hell. Okay? Because the potato itself isn't the thing that needs sunlight. I'm going to see if I could grow potatoes through the winter months. I heard that you can. And you know, the longer you keep the potato in the ground, even after it's grown, it'll store good in the ground. It won't rotten. It won't rot or anything unless it's waterlogged or something like that. But once you dig it up, that's when you have the issues. That's when you gotta, you gotta cure them. And then, yeah, and then it could go bad. But do they go bad, or do they fall into the seed form, right? They turn into your seeds. When y'all have them potatoes that's growing eyes, baby, don't throw that shit away. If you got a lot of them, you could sell them. But don't throw them away. You could grow them. Put them in a bag. I seen people grow potatoes in leaves. I was like, damn, in leaves? Now, they didn't yield a very good potato yield. And it's not because of the leaves. That's not why they didn't yield. I think because they didn't give the plant any nutrition, any nutrients, right? Soil and dirt gives plants nutrition. Now, when I say dirt, I'm not talking about bought dirt. I'm talking about like when you go out in your area. Yeah, that's providing nutrients, because it's getting its nutrients from other things. Even if you don't give this particular plant nutrients, there might be another something. The grass on the side of it might provide it nutrients. So it's crazy how things work, but that's the world we live in. I'm Cherry. I live in Baltimore, and my sister lives near you. Oh, she lives in Newcastle. Yeah, I'm in Newcastle too. You grow them in straw. See, D Nice grew them in straw. That's what I'm like. I was shocked, and I've been, learning on my own through YouTube, and I love when I see people when they show you how they growing it, and then they show you their yield, and then even if they don't yield a good yield, and what does I call it? Good yield? Shit. And I saw somebody, they put three seed potatoes in the dirt. And when they did their yield, they only had like 8 potatoes. And I was like, you got 8 potatoes from that. But they were just doing a they were just checking it out too, seeing what they'll get. And I think they grew in leaves, in a plastic bag. Yeah, and at the end, that's what they had. But they still grew something. So that within the worst conditions, it was a bad yield. Like, nobody want to wait 60 days and get. But the truth is, they didn't. That was like the cheapest way. They just piled some leaves that was in the yard already. They didn't buy no leaves. They didn't buy no soil. They didn't buy no container. So you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like nature itself growing potatoes, essentially. A potato that's already in the ground. Think about that. Something that was already in the ground that ended up drying out over time, and then bam, it's growing potatoes naturally in the ground without any help from anybody, just nature itself. And that's what that test that they were doing, that's what that proves. It proves that nature will provide for it will provide. And even if you don't use the word provide, it will survive. Maybe that's the word I should put. Okay. Let me see. You not too late for fall gardening. You may be. Yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm ready to start my fall gardening. And it's not even too late for this season of gardening, because right now, if I had grown some bell peppers and they had did well, I would actually be putting other bell pepper seedlings out there in order for another. Because here in Delaware, even though it did get warm late, like it literally didn't warm up enough for these things until this month, right? Or late last month. It's going to still be warm enough for me to grow, hopefully till November, but should definitely be till October. So you could bring something definitely from seed all the way to harvest in 30, 60 days. I don't think there's not much of anything that takes 90 days. So 3 months. The problem is, usually when people want to grow in their garden, July is when you really want to grab your harvest. It's not when you want to start your harvest. But I got to go with the weather, when you're going on cheap. Now, the truth is, if I wanted to spend some money, I could go today and buy some plants. They're going to be damn near fully grown, right? And put them in some soil, put them in the ground, and in a couple of weeks, I'll have fruit on them. Give it like 2 weeks, because they're already kind of fully grown. They just need to be planted. Let the bees and everything come and do what they need to do, and bam, give it, give it its, and I'll have some things growing up there. Like I said with that lady, right? It only takes about, if you buy a full plant, it only takes a couple of weeks. This thing is already full maturity, damn here. It's in full maturity already. I've been to the nurseries a few years back, right? This is because I haven't been to a nursery since I started doing my own gardening from seeds. But I keep telling hubby we need to go because I want some bell peppers. Anyway, and I would see plants with fruit on them already. Strawberries with strawberries on them already. And I used to wonder why nobody bought it. Like, it already got strawberries. Does that prove that it's going to grow strawberries? Like, even I was like thinking about buying it. It already has strawberries on it. I'm like, But I also wondered, why didn't anybody buy it when they already have strawberries on it? Like, maybe I'm the dummy who might buy it. You know what I mean? So I didn't understand back then. And nurseries is not there to really teach you. They there to sell you some stuff. You have to get the right person. I don't trust them, because they always go into the most expensive shit. Oh, yeah, really? Oh, yeah, for real? Oh, don't buy this soil. You need this soil over here. And this soil over here, they got a sale on this soil where I can get 5 of them for like $10. And then they want to sell me the soil over here, though. It's $10 per bag, and I need 5 of them. Hell no. I want to know why this dirt's so special. What's so special about this soil over here? Now, that soil that I bought, man. I'm not too fond of that soil that I bought, because it smells like manure. Pure manure. Okay? It's really wet. And so now it's good if I mix it with some other things, because I was like, oh man, so I had to mix it with some of my, soil in my area. But truly, you don't have to buy no goddamn soil unless your soil just isn't good. Like in my yard, I had to build this up. Because the AOH hired these people to come through every year. They put that black stuff in our yard to prevent things growing. People got to think about that. The neighbor is trying to grow in something that prevents growth of things. Right? Y'all do not, like, I was looking at him. And I'm telling him, I'm like, yeah, you're not going to be able to grow with that in your yard. But he's just looking at me like I must be fucking crazy. Now let's go do that real quick. Let's go look around real quick. Let's do it. Like I don't understand. I don't understand how they don't understand. Like, I don't know. Am I speaking a different language? Maybe I'm not explaining it right. Let me get another mask. Just give me a second, y'all. Let me grab another mask real quick. We just gonna do it real quick. Review. Damn. Oh man. Okay. I really don't want to put on that jacket, but I'm gonna have to put that jacket on, y'all. Not because of the mosquitoes so much. I didn't put on a bra. I have on a shirt and I don't have on no bra. My things are not sitting up pretty, okay? They're not. So I'm gonna put the jacket on because I don't wanna. That don't look right. I have never walked outdoors without a bra on before until since I started gardening this week. It's too hot. Let me look in the mirror. Hold up. Let me see if they gonna be able to tell I don't have on a bra. Let me see. I don't want my nipples to be protrude. Let me see. Okay, no. Okay. Yeah. They ain't gonna be able to tell. My nipples not showing through. Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Now, I want. Okay. I'm gonna leave that open. Okay, so here we go. See, so. See, nothing's growing, right? Nothing's growing, and those trees are dying. The trees are dying. So, why would you think? You see that? Look, the trees are dying, literally. Look. Look. Look, y'all. So, what I'm saying is, everything is dying. Everything's dying. And why is it dying? Because of this stuff. Okay? Why do they put the stuff down there? So they can manage the community. Look. So why would you think you could grow in it? Now, see this, you could be able to tell my side versus their side. Look. Because I don't allow them to put that shit down. For years, I haven't allowed it. But this year, they put it down, and I shoved that shit up. The same day they put it down, I took it up. You can see that. You can see if you look, you can see a hill where it's that side. I took that shit off. Look at that thing. That's a plant. That's not even a fruit or vegetable. That's just supposed to be like some pretty daisy or something. Look at that shit. Yes. That's supposed to be open and real pretty. So why when I suggested, I was like, hey, you're not gonna be able to grow in that. Like he was asking me for advice, and I said, well, the first thing you got to do is you got to take that stuff up. He looked at me like I'm crazy. Now, what y'all think? Wait, somebody we have. Let me see what happened. Naked as the day as she was born. No, I'm not naked, y'all. No. I just didn't have on the bra. Is what I was saying. I have on a shirt, but no bra underneath. And so I pulled that stuff up. As you can see, there's none of that stuff. None of that stuff. You can see little remnants of it, like little pieces like this. Right, but that's it. I wouldn't let them put it in my yard for a few years because that's what I thought was killing I kept saying. And the reason I knew, because that first year I grew, I had, wait, am I covering? No. Okay, I was using these to cover them when they were seedlings. I was covering them up. This is a tomato plant. You could tell it's tomato based on that, the hairs on them. What kind of tomatoes? I don't know. Well, I bought my seeds from like Dollar Tree. I don't know if they're indeterminate, determinate. But these are beans, and that's a green beans right there, and I can see them. Right, you can see the bean right there. See it? Uh, and that's how I also know it's not doing well. But I just put this out. No, this been out for a minute. It's not. She's not doing well. She's not doing well at all. Something's harming her. Well, we know what's harming her now, and she's flowering. I should prevent her from flowering. You take the flowers off. You don't let them flower like that. Okay. So let's go back in because I don't want no bra. Okay. Whew, that felt better than having that jacket on. Oh my goodness. There go. Oh, all my seeds just fell on the ground. I just dropped them off. Oh no. Well, I have bad luck. One for bad luck, I don't think I will have any. Okay? I have luck, all right. Bad luck. Okay, let's put y'all back right there. Oh, jeez. Right, but they're too young, right? I mean, not too young. The plants are at a time where they should be flowering. That's true, right? On how old the plant is, it should be flowering, but she's in distress. She's too small, which means she's not going to produce much of nothing. You see what I'm saying? Usually by the time they flower, they're strong. If they're healthy, they're strong, they're healthy. They'll flower, depending on what type, depends, right? On what it is. Some things when it flowers, it's the end. When they flower, is almost like the end of their everything. So it just depends on what the plant is, though. So some things you want to prevent it from flowering, because if you allow it to flower, then it slows down. Some things, though, it flowers in order for the fruit to come in, right? So the bees will go and they'll pollinate it, things like that. And so what that was, like she's in distress, so she's over there sickly. She's over there. If it's a bush or vine variety, I think that one was a bush. So that was a bush. I know. I don't know, to be honest. I need to go out there and look at it again. But I think, what did it look like? It was vine? No, it was bushy. It was like bushy. It was standing up. It didn't look. And you saw how yellow it was. Now, just because it has yellow leaves doesn't mean that it's dead or anything. I'm trying to keep it going, but I do not want it to flower until I actually don't think she's gonna survive. Like, she'll survive, it'll stay there, it'll be ugly, it won't produce much of nothing. And then yeah. So, but I might look. The problem is this. I bought those seeds from Dollar Tree. They don't really give you the variety name. They'll just tell you what, in a lot of cases, whether it's just bush. I don't know if they determinate or indeterminate. I don't even, and then even then, like with my tomatoes, those things matter, which I still don't know the details of them. You know what I mean? Like, because when I'm listening to a video, they'll usually say, well, if it's the determinate type, and I'm like, well, when the hell you gonna tell me what the hell that mean? So I did listen to a video that did explain it, but I can't remember exactly. I wrote it down. Look, I have a whole notebook of notes, and I'm like, oh my God. But I do know that, but then people give you advice, right? That's what I know. They got some people say, take the sicklets off. Is that what it's called? The area where you can see where it branches out into whole nother leaves. Some people say take your tomato plants and trim them up and go and pinch those things off. And some say don't do that. And I'm like, well, damn, who do I listen to? Lord, that's what I'm saying. Look, the same person can make a video. They could have made a video 6 months ago where they telling you to pinch them off, and they make a video today saying don't pinch them off. And I'm like, what? You the one who told me to pinch them off. Now you're telling me to don't pinch them off. And I think what's going on is like the same thing in the sewing community. What I think is going on is that somebody makes a video and they sound like they know what they're talking about. They say something. Most of us who've been sewing for as long as they have, we're like, we ain't never hear that. But then eventually what they have said gets heard and heard and heard. Even if we don't hear it from them, somebody heard it and they made a video repeating what that person said. And then somebody hear that person and they repeat what that person said. And then now everybody is saying the same thing. And for those of us who've been sewing forever, we're thinking, wait, why would you do that though? Like, why would you do that? And they don't know. What they say is called locking the stitch. And I'm like, but that don't make sense what you're saying. Because they make it seem like you gotta go frontwards and backwards in order to lock the stitch. But if you didn't go front and backwards, are you saying that if I pull on the string, it's all gonna fall apart? Because that's what they're saying. He's just saying you gotta lock the stitch in the beginning and the end. So what's locking the stitch? All in the middle. I'm like, wait a minute, baby. You mean you locking it in the beginning and the end, but who's locking it all in the middle? Oh, the sewing machine. Because that's what the sewing machine does. It locks. It actually ties a knot as it stitches. So that means you don't have to go forward and back. You want to try potatoes? Oh, potatoes easy. You eat potatoes? Y'all wanna grow potatoes? You get a seed potato. You gotta buy a seed potato. Or if you have a seed potato, but the thing is, it can't just be a potato that just have eyes on it. A seed potato usually is when it becomes, it kind of is an old potato. You know what I mean? Like it has eyes on it and it's old. I can show you one where I have a seed potato that came from my potatoes. It's outside though. I'll show y'all another time. It's an old potato that we noticed was getting old. And so I set it to the side so it could shrivel up and get older and older. And then I could grow it. Okay. If you grow from a good fresh potato that just have a couple of eyes on it, it's going to take a very long time. Oh, white potatoes? Oh, they got all kinds of white potatoes too, right? They got different varieties of white potatoes. But can I just throw a regular bought potato in a bag and it grows? Yes. It's gonna take a while. What I would suggest is, yeah, actually you can put it in the ground. It'll take a while, but it'll grow. But it can't be a fresh potato though. D-Nice. She can't go buy a bag of potatoes fresh that when we cut it up it's gonna be juicy and everything. Can she put it in the dirt? Yes. Will it grow? Yes. But it will take forever to grow. Forever. Like it probably gonna take 30 or more days just for it to get to this environment in the stage it needs to be in just to start growing, which that's almost most of the season, right? 30 days just to do that. And then from there, it'll start breaking down to where it'll start growing. And then potatoes can take 60 days. But I don't know about white potatoes, how fast that grows. It may be, but it's more than 30 days. It might be like 45 days. So Yeah, you get the eyes on them, which kind of says that it'll grow. But so yeah, but she can just go and buy a bag of seed potatoes from Lowe's or something. They're not that expensive. It might be like $3. I bought the yams, and I think I got a bag of Yukon. Oh, I didn't even put them in yet. Where my bag? My bag was outside. So I hope nobody came in and swiped my motherfucking bag. I didn't see it. Let me look in my window. Hold up. Because that's what I was supposed to do. Oh, I see it. So, I made my grow bags from this. See this material right here? And so I made my grow bags. I doubled it up like this. And then I made a bag out of it. Okay. So I have a couple of grow bags that I made from this fabric. And then you could grow anything. So this is what they make the grow bags out of. This is one of the materials. You can make grow bags out of many things. You can make grow bags out of fabric, regular fabric. You can make it out of, what else that is called? Damn, I can't think of what it's called. It's like a felt material. And that's because grow bags, they use burlap. I have some burlap. Yeah. You can make it, and the reason you want it to be strong, but you kind of might want it to be a little natural too. You don't want any chemicals on it. You want natural fibers. Do not grow it in no polyester, please. Don't grow, but you can. Now, can you grow in polyester? You absolutely. I wouldn't suggest buying no bags, but they do sell them. People don't be knowing. They'll sell you anything you buy. But we got to understand what polyester is. So you else say you don't have an organic garden if you're growing in polyester. I kind of would say the same thing in some of those pots that you buy from the Dollar Tree. You grow an organic while using something that could be, leaching something in the soil. Because, back in the day, like, when they grew in a pot, it was like the pots used to be made of stone, y'all, or what is they call it? You know how I used to see people make planters. They would kill it up. They would take it out of clay. It would be made of clay, and then they would, it's like pottery. So plants used to be made in pottery pots, which is natural. And today, people are buying plastic pots. And you're not growing no natural, nothing in no plastic pots. You can grow in it. Just, you cannot claim that it's organic. That's all. Okay? I'm glad you make your own bags. Well, the only reason I make my own bags is because I'm cheap. I actually made a video on how to make your own bags, but then I didn't edit it or anything. I did little clips of me making the bag. And it's better for me just to go live. I do better though if I put up a video, especially if I did that in sewing and stuff. Because y'all don't really want to see me sew for real, right? People want to see me sew, but they don't want to see me sew. In other words, you want to be able to watch me for 15 minutes, and in 15 minutes, you want to see me start the project and end the project in 15 minutes. But the project may take 4 days to actually do, right? People, I was live showing people me making a quilt. You're going to get bored watching me do the same steps over and over and over and over and over and over again. Way before I even start putting it together. But at least when I do that, you know that people lying to you and that you think you're going to make a shirt in An hour. If you think you're going to make a shirt in 15 minutes, then you're wrong. If you think you're going to make a bag in 15 minutes, if you think you're going to make that zipper pouch in 15 minutes, if you think, you know what I mean? The video may take 15 minutes. I assure you it took them a few hours to even make that video. It's hard to go organic. My neighbor using chemicals. That's true. D-Nice, what you just said is true. When other people using, if we all using the same ground, like for instance, my neighbors with that stuff still on their ground, does it affect my ground? Yes, to a degree. But I can still grow because I have rebuilt my ground through the years with soil. I wouldn't allow them to put that stuff on top. And that's the stuff that's stopping anything from growing because it's covering everything up, not allowing any roots to get any air, right? It's almost like suffocating. They suffocate any roots that's in the ground underneath. When I take that stuff up, I allow the roots to grow. But the problem is I'm still having a problem growing in the front. It's still kind of real slow. When I dug, I realized it's nothing but rocks down there. So apparently before they started putting that down, apparently there was lots of gravel. So the reason I'm able to grow in my yard is because I started buying bags and bags of dirt maybe about 6 years ago. Every year I would go out there and fill things up, build things up, and that's what I've been doing. And then, so this year I'm like, okay, let me go see, let me go test. But the front, it still looked like it's still giving me a hard time. I don't know. Bags are in plastic. Let me see. It's very hard. I'm lucky most of my neighbors don't use, what is called? Chemical lawn. Is that what you're saying? I used to use, at the place I used to live at before here, what's that stuff, y'all, that killed, weed killer. It was a weed killer. And until I found out what that stuff is, we've actually destroyed a lot of our land and property. Who cares if you got weeds in your yard? Like, you ever, first of all, cut your grass, but I've gone to areas where if they see one weed, they freak out. Now, my thing is, though, if you just see a couple of weeds, you could go out there with some baking soda. You go out there with baking soda and kill weeds by putting it on the plant, okay? But they use chemicals because the people who take care of lawn care people these days, they don't really want to do the hard work at all. They want to be able to have the chemicals, know how to use the chemicals, and do the work. And the results are good. But the end results is so fucking bad. The end result is poisoning of our grounds. Poisoning of the earth, right? Well, I wouldn't say the earth because the earth will be the earth's core. But, I don't know what's under all the dirt and shit. So I don't want to profess to know that. But what I am saying is we have been very fucking mean to the earth in which we live on for no reason. It's different if there's something out there that's harmful to people, but weeds are not harmful to people. Unless you're saying weeds are harmful to our eyes. It's the worst thing. We are harmful to the earth for no reason. I saw a video that disgusted me. It makes me not want to buy fish ever again. Although I love fish. Okay? I'm about to go and just only eat what I saw something that was so disgusting. Like, I like watching about our earth. I was watching this man, the man he's the researcher of the deep sea and things like that. A aqua scientist. And I think, I don't even know if he was the scientist. He just used to be the person who reported on, you know, our environment for years. So he became famous due to that. But anyway, he has a documentary. He has a few documentaries. He's not ever doing the work, but he's talking about it, right? He's the one. So anyway, he's older now. He's real old. But anyway, we all get old. So I'm just letting y'all know he's an older man in case y'all go look to see who he is. But he showed a video of why we are going through climate change. And it's more than just one thing, you know. But did you know that these people who sell us fish, right? I used to think they was out there fishing. Like, I remember they had ads in the paper. Like, hey, if you want to come be a fisherman, come, we going to Alaska to fish. So I assumed they was getting on boats. I imagined, like, literally imagined in my dumbass brain that there were going to be a lot of people on this ship, and they out there with fishing rods and shit and things, and they fishing, right? Because how else can you catch fish? Now, we see how they catch crab, right? Because they had TV shows showing them boats going out there. They dropping those big ass pots and feeding them, and the crabs get in it and they toss them up. They bring them up. That might be his name. I'm not sure what his name is. Even if you mention it, I wouldn't. But anyway, that might be right. Anyway, so that I'm not even joking. Like, that's how foolish I realize how foolish I am. You know, have been, because I used to see the ads. I always told y'all my husband was a professional fisherman. Okay, I can show you. My husband has rods that's in the thousands of dollars, y'all. I'm gonna show you one right now. This company don't even exist anymore. These people used to be his. These people used to send him these things for free. They was his sponsors. Breakaway. Some of these things are these are surf rods. You see that? Companies that used to sponsor him. And one time he had like a $20,000 rod. I was like, $20,000? So when they say they sponsor him and the sponsorship would be $100,000, it was mostly in equipment. They would have Breakaway, everything, the rods, and Breakaway came from like another country. I think they was in the UK or something like that. So when I say he's a professional fisherman, like for real, he was, and not because of his fishing per se, but he had held the record for casting the longest distance. In other words, he would take that Breakaway rod and he could cast it across a long distance, across many ponds. So they had these competitions that he was a part of. Anyway, why do I say that? Because, I'm from where we fish. He was a fisherman, professional fisherman. We go fishing, cool. So when they was talking about we need fishermen to go out and fish, I always asked him, like, you ever thought about going on those boats and fishing? And he told me no. Now, maybe he knew something I didn't know. Maybe he knew that my question was ridiculous, but he never said anything. He was like, no. Right. See, but Tay Will, I miss you. How you doing? I hope you're doing well, baby. I was looking for you because I wanted to know if you remember what video that was where you, I, and I think it was Sapase did the remix of Her Car Got Repoed. Remember we did a remix? If you ever can think about what month that was or anything, or the video, let me know. If you remember the last time you was over here on here, so I could go and look it up. Anyway, I'm glad everything's good. But in my mind, let me get back to it because I'll lose my train of thought. I always thought that's how men went out when they were looking for fishermen. I thought they were gonna be on a boat with actual fishing rods. But I learned, and I'm talking about as of, I just learned this shit like this week or maybe last week. Recently, right? Real recent. How they fish for our fucking fish. Yo, And it's not good, y'all. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's so fucking horrific. So what they do, they take nets. They call them industrial motherfucking nets, right? And they drag. I'm talking about essentially they drag the area with these fast boats, and it's dragging. It's just dragging the very bottom, and they're killing all kinds of shit. They even catching fish they don't even fucking want in these big ass nets. They dragging it so fast that even the fish can't get out of it. It's so large and wide, and it's all the way to the bottom, and they dragging the fucking ocean bottom. And then they lift this thing up, and it's millions. It could be millions, right? But I might be exaggerating with millions. But it essentially, they're killing millions of things. They killing species of shit that they don't even need or want. And then they take this net and they just dump it, and there's all kinds of fish. It's stingrays, it could be sharks, it could be catfish, and it could be all these fucking fish. But they're only looking for one species of fish. So you know what that? So they're gonna go through all these fish. They're gonna only grab the ones that they want, and then the other ones are just fucking dead. But more importantly is what they're doing to the ocean bottom, and how that affects us. Cause they found that the ocean bottom have things that helps our air, y'all. Right? They finding out that our water, and it's not the actual water, because see, if we say that it's the water, then people can overlook what they're doing. It's not the water that's keeping our air clean. Remember, because I think that's what we grew up thinking, that water and the trees. But it's not the water. It's what's in the water. It's the species of things in the water that helps filtrate our air, that keeps oxygen going. And they have found that the things in the water does this more than trees. In fact, the trees does this portion, but it's probably due to the water also, right? And they are dragging and they're killing. So I heard, I did hear this portion a few years back, because I think it was having an issue in Florida, right? Where they had found that there's some things at the bottom of the ocean that are dying because of the, I think they said that the water's too warm. And they look like stones. Like it looked like it could be like a brick or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen them in people's fish tanks, and I didn't know that was a living creature. I thought that was like just a pretty rock at the bottom of the fish tank. Come to find out, that's a living creature, a living something, right? And it helps, and I did hear people say that it filtrates the saltwater fish tanks. But I didn't know that it was living. I thought it was like a rock. I thought, oh, it's some kind of sediment in the water. But I did not know that that thing is alive, right? And that's what they're killing. That's what they're fucking killing. That's what they're killing, those things, and it's hurting our air and our environment. And because we don't know, just like I didn't know, y'all probably don't know, I may be explaining it incorrect. So y'all go look it up yourself and look and see what the fuck they are doing for the sake of, could be just one species of fish that they killing many. We are horrific. Then most of this shit is not being eaten, right? Why we don't catch what it is we need? Why are we over abundantly just killing shit just for it to go bad? And then commercial, I'm not even fond of this commercial shit, right? Because we can have food. If I live right behind a Walmart, I literally can walk to Walmart right now. I can take y'all with me. It wouldn't take me 5 minutes to walk to Walmart. And that's me slow as fuck, right? Truly, the Walmart is right in front of my neighborhood, y'all. You can't see the Walmart from my neighborhood because there's a breakage of trees. The trees right behind them is right behind my neighborhood. Okay, if I walk out my neighborhood right there, we'll be able to see the Walmart parking lot. Okay. Anyway, but if I went back there and start the dumpster dive and I start grabbing the food, do you know they'll call the police on me? And I'll go to fucking jail for theft in the goddamn dumpster? Now, suppose I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Bitch, I'm hungry. You throwing all this food away. Can I please grab it and bring it home and cook it? No, it's a crime. Y'all, that in itself should be a crime. And I saw a video yesterday before I go, because I do have to go. Because I was only supposed to be here for a few minutes. And my ass talked too much. But I saw a video yesterday. And it was Tupac. It was Tupac talking. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I used to listen to Tupac. I listened to his music. But I never thought of him as, like, I never thought of him as nothing but just, he was a rapper. So I definitely didn't want to hear shit he had to say, right? Not back then. And plus, I was young, right? Come on, let's keep it real. He rapping good. If you're on that political shit, I ain't hearing it. But I heard him say something, but it had to have been a long time ago because he's been dead for many years now. But he had mentioned how we give wealthy people awards when they, and we'll say that they, when they help people, when they may donate something to some cause, and then we'll give them an award. But he was saying these people are the people with billions of dollars, many homes, and they got people with no homes. But because they give some money for a tax break to an organization, we didn't give them the humanitarian award. And we're like, why would we do that? Why would we give somebody who got abundantly a lot where they can absolutely give a whole lot, right? They have all types of power when you that wealthy. You got, look at Elon Musk. This motherfucker not even American, but he was running. And that's mainly because he wealthy. Just because he fucking wealthy. Elon Musk ain't shit. He was, like, we never knew really much about him except that his company. And the reason we knew about him is because he had this company that was making money. Right? Where Randy at? We did Randy's Rego. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what we did. Randy's gone. Oh, shit. Yeah, you remember when that was? That shit was funny. Our asses is crazy. That show was Randy's gone. It was like his daddy's gone. Like Kevin Samuel's daddy's gone. Man, we crazy. We had so much fun. You got me over here cracking up, man. You got me cracking up. Anyway, but we are so wasteful. Anyway, he was saying that these people, why are we giving them awards? Because they really giving for the breaks. They'll give the max in which they could give in order to get the maximum amount of tax break. Now, is something wrong with that? No, I guess that might, but it does kind of show that they're only giving because they're receiving something. And so why would we give them an award? Because we got to kiss their ass so they can continue. But no, they're going to continue anyway because we already kissing their ass by giving them that huge tax break. So do they deserve a reward? Is what he was saying. And he was essentially saying we the richest country, one of the richest, right? Because we're not the richest, but we're one of the richest countries. And yet we have homeless people, poor people. In winter, do y'all know it's many people die in their homes because they don't have no heat. Oh, and in the summertime, did y'all know there's many people who die in their homes because they don't have no air? They die from heat stroke because it's so hot. Like, it happens, right? In America, we don't give a fuck about no poor people. And some of us, we so busy trying to make sure we don't end up that way that we don't have time to be paying attention to what's going on. And that's called the rat race, baby. They keep us running, jumping through hoops. The pricing goes up because you'll notice when things get, when we start wanting to, you know, when we have an issue with something that's going on in the government, you don't notice prices go up? Why y'all think that prices go up? You would think they would let the prices go down to shut us the hell up. But no, prices go up. Prices go up. Prices fucking go up. Why? Because when prices go up, we know we got to work harder. We gotta go and make that money and make that money. We got to go. We ain't got time to be going and marching nowhere. We ain't got no time to be complaining. We ain't got no time to be looking at no news, to be looking to see what's going on and trying to decipher whether the news station we look at is they lying to us. A lot of people don't know that they're being lied to. How would they know they're being lied to? They look at this news station. They look at Fox News. They've been looking at Fox News. Their grandma used to look at Fox News, so they look at Fox News. Their whole family been looking at Fox News since the beginning. Conception of Fox News. Now, they don't know that Fox News changed. Okay? They don't know that Fox News is not, literally not giving news like that no more. So, to them, why would they go to another station? And why would they believe that the people who they trust is lying to them? And we not gonna, they so busy going to work and suffering and shit, they ain't got time to be listening to nobody else and trying to decipher who telling the truth. In fact, all they know is that they believe what they believe because the person they believe to be truthful told them to them. It's hard. They're gonna raise the prices, so now they more worried about, oh, what they gonna do, how we gonna do this, how we gonna afford this, how we gonna do that, and they gonna go apply for food stamps and shit. But then the only person they gonna talk about being on food stamps is black people. Look, they on food stamps, getting all their Social Security and disability, and they getting it all. But they don't want nobody else should get it because for some reason we the lazy ones. See, they feel like they work and they're able to work and they're capable of working, but they just not no jobs, and so they'll get that money. But the other groups of people, they over there lazy. They over there lazy and they need to go to work, even though his ass or she's not working. Everybody else need to go to work. And they lazy. That's some fucking shit. Anyway, let's get up. More YouTube on it than black. I know that's right. Randy's gone. Yeah, I will be back later this evening though. I have a doctor's appointment, and I'm going. My doctor's appointment it's not till 4. I have a couple hours, but I'm gonna jump in the shower. I wanted to wash my hair. I've been wearing the bonnet. I gotta wash my hair. I just feel like I want to wash it, which is I have a lot of hair, so I might not be able to wash it today because I was supposed to start washing it this morning. Yeah, it take 4 hours to wash my hair. Wash it, and then I gotta try to detangle it. That's hours of work. You men know nothing about this, okay? And I know, look, women be sitting in a long hair chair for 9 goddamn hours, baby, sometimes. Okay? It's only gonna take me about 15, 20 minutes to wash and condition my hair. But then it's gonna take me another 20 minutes because I'm gonna put a hot oil treatment in it. Right? That means after I put the oil in it, and sit under the dryer, I'm gonna sit under that for about 15 minutes to a half hour. And then after that, I gotta wash that out. And then to proceed with detangling my motherfucking hair. That's where it's gonna be a couple hours, okay? To detangle everything. And I'm not even gonna straighten it. I just gotta detangle it. Now, if I was straightening it, it would take me less time. I would put heat on it. But I haven't put heat on my hair in a couple of years now. And I have this big ass afro, y'all. If I wanted to be an afro, when I wash my hair, it is an afro, okay? It's a big, tall ass motherfucker, heavy head of hair on my goddamn head. And I gotta do this because I don't want my hair to tangle up. People be, I don't know why, just because you see my hair being straightened out and blown out and straight don't mean that I'm white. I don't know where motherfuckers think that shit from. Okay? Motherfuckers been accusing me of being white forever. But no. I'm over here pulling at it now. I have black people saying because I'm black, baby. I'm black. Okay? I'm gone. I love you all. And I hope we had a great conversation. Okay? We was talking about gardening. My garden it's not in a good shape. It would be way better, farther along, and the stuff in my house would be outdoors already. And I will be pampering it. Now, I could put the stuff that's indoors, outdoors. Because the stuff that's in the front that y'all did see, I have a fly in here. I'm about to get him. I see him over there. I see his ass, okay? I'm going to catch him. He ain't going to be in here too long. I think we have some spray. We do. Hold up. I'm going to get his ass. I'm going to show y'all where his ass at. He hiding out on me. He hiding out from my ass. You see him? Look at his ass right there. When I opened that door, I guess he flew in here. You see him? Oh, he ain't going to be that long, though. We about to get his ass right now. We going to catch his ass. We about to get him. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't come by me. You attacking me, motherfucker. Where you going? Oh, yeah. No. Okay, don't tell people I did that to that fly. They're going to say, Mom, you mean to animals. I don't like no flies, baby. Okay? Flies bring, if y'all don't know what flies bring those, oh, look. What the hell is that? What is that we looking at? Oh, I'm about to say. That's leaky stuff over there, y'all. Flies bring maggots. Y'all, if y'all don't know, flies bring maggots. Don't let him be in your house. It's cold in here, so he wasn't going to survive too long anyway. But he will survive long enough to drop some motherfucking eggs. And he will drop them eggs on anything you have wet. If you got a wet area, a wet, moist area, that he or she, since Jay Prince said, y'all got the eggs, baby. Y'all got the babies, and y'all. So if it's a he gonna drop his motherfucking eggs everywhere. Jay Prince said, y'all got the eggs in y'all. Y'all got the babies in y'all. And he was serious. Remember when I said I threw my little whatnots at my hubby? See, little black. I used to have a whole lot. Look, this one broke because leaky. My grandson broke this one when he was a baby. And I used to love, he broke this one too. Look, the arm is gone. The little dog was on one of them. Which one the little dog was on? And I got little black boys, black grandpas with their sons, black grandpas with their sons, black kids. Let's see what else I got. My art is black. Black. They was accusing me of being a white woman, man. Listen, here we go. I know y'all can't see because it's a black man and woman. I gotta clean this mirror. Let me open this up. That's a black man and woman. Black. That's me. Look, black men. I think that's where that dog go right there. Okay. Little angels, they black. There go my voodoo. Don't let me get my black cat on y'all asses, okay? Don't let me get the black cat. This is my voodoo. And there go. Okay, that's me down there. And that's black Santa with black kids. Okay, that's Kwanzaa shit right there. And I had a Kwanzaa candle holder. Don't play around, okay? We black in this bitch. Look. Black. If I believe in Jesus, he a black man. Okay? That's a black man. Okay, here go. And trying not to show y'all this mess around here, y'all. Me and mirrors. That's a black, and yeah. Baby, we black in this bitch. I'm showing off. Yeah, I need to clean this crazy place up. Because I didn't let I got all these plants running wild in here. Let me turn this around. Hold up. How do I turn it around towards me? Oh, I hope on the bra. I can't do that. Guess who was over here the other day? T-Will. Shitty girl. Black Diarrhea. She came up here. I don't know. She claimed she came in peace. So she came up. We was having a good discussion. And then, but she turned on her camera. And I'm pissed that I was the only one who could see her. And I'm going to tell you. She had a picture up and she started bragging about, yeah, see that picture? But I was able to see, like her camera was on. She would blur in and out. And her hair was, she had on this white thing on her head. That bitch looked like she was scary. Like Freddy Krueger, you know, with, she was scary in the face. But that's for another stream, y'all, okay? I don't want to mix that with my gardening. Because she would kill all my plants, baby. Okay? Talking about, yeah, you see that picture? You know how she's like, yeah, you see that picture? Uh-huh. Yeah, you jealous? And I was looking right at her, said this shit. That bitch looked like she fuck. Ooh, Lord. Anyway, bye, y'all. Bye.